Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content I will be covering in this bonus content video will be in the sport of boxing. And in this bonus content video, I'll be sharing my letter grade for Shakur Stevenson's debut at 135 pounds last night. So the letter grade I gave Shakur Stevenson was an A+. He made his debut in an outstanding lightweight division in the sport of boxing. Got his feet wet in his first debut at the 135-pound division, and made it look. He's an interesting piece to add to an already loaded division in boxing. In my opinion, the lightweight division is the best division in boxing. Now you add a caliber, in my opinion, to pound for pound, 10 pound for pound fighter, is Shakur Stevenson, to this outstanding division. It makes the division even more entertaining. Shakur Stevenson last night put everybody in the lightweight division on notice. All the top names are on notice now that Shakur Stevenson has been added to this division. Last night he showcased what he could do and what he's going to bring into this division. He showcased his talented boxing IQ. He showcased his excellent defensive skills as a defensive fighter, and showcased what he could do as a talented combination striker in the lightweight division. So, and I even tweeted last night before Shakur Stevenson got to the ring. I said, Shakur Stevenson, this should be his last fight fighting on cable for free. Yes, he is he is signed with Top Rank. Top Rank is with ESPN, so Shakur Stevenson has yet to become a pay-per-view star. At this time, it's time for Shakur Stevenson to be a pay-per-view star. I know he's under contract with Top Rank. Top Rank needs to start showcasing Shakur Stevenson on pay-per-view in a similar way of what they're going to be doing with undisputed champion Devin Haney in the future when he's on pay-per-view against Lomachenko. It's time for Shakur Stevenson to stop fighting on free cable, and it's time for him to become a pay-per-view star, because he's more than earned the right to become a pay-per-view star in the sport of boxing. And last night, in his lightweight debut, he dismantled and dominated Japanese star Yoshino last night. And I had him win. The fight only went at 6 rounds. Shakur Stevenson won that fight by knockout in the 6th round. I had Shakur Stevenson winning all 6 of the rounds. He was dominant and dismantled Yoshino from the start of the fight all the way to the end of the fight when the referee stopped the fight in round 6. Shakur and the stats just blow your mind of how good and explosive Shakur Stevenson was last night against Yoshino. Shakur landed 50% of his punches last night, landed 27% of his jabs, and 60% of his power punches. A lot of boxing analysts were saying that Shakur Stevenson moving up from 130 to 135 is a good idea. However, they said there was one thing that Shakur Stevenson lacked in his arsenal, in his toolbox, which was his being a power puncher. Last night, Shakur Stevenson showed, moving up to 135 pounds, he's bringing everything to the table and more, including a lot of power in his punches. And he landed on 60% of his power punches last night. I believe he's going to bring a new element to his boxing toolbox, his boxing repertoire, which is being power, which a lot of people don't believe that he has. But I seen it last night, and I do believe that Shakur Stevenson is a power puncher after last night. Not a knockout artist yet, but he does have the power in his punches from what I saw last night and from his previous bouts, being at 130 and 100, being in the 130-pound division and the 126-pound division. So shout out to Yoshino. Like I said, he's a Japanese star in the world of boxing. A lot of people don't know who he is, but he is a champion in Japan in the lightweight division over there. But the reason why Yoshino was Shakur Stevenson's opponent is because we've seen the top names in the lightweight division duck Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson was calling out every top name there was in this lightweight division. Obviously, Devin Haney was under negotiations with Lomachenko, so therefore that fight did not happen. Gervonta Davis had his schedule planned out when he fought Hector Luis Garcia in January. And, of course, his big-time fight with Ryan Garcia is happening soon. So, therefore, the two biggest names in the division have had their hands filled right now. Full, I should say, and are pretty busy right now. So, therefore, Shakur Stevenson was calling around to the other top names in this division. Names of Isaac Pitbull Cruz, someone who took Gervonta Davis all the way to the distance, nearly beat Gervonta Davis. Shakur Stevenson wanted a piece of him. Isaac Pitbull Cruz wanted no part of Shakur Stevenson. Then you move on to William Cepeda. He is signed with Golden Boy Promotions. That is under Oscar De La Hoya. That's one of Oscar De La Hoya's best fighters right now under contract. William Cepeda did not want any part of Shakur Stevenson, and Oscar De La Hoya even openly came out and said he is not ready for Shakur Stevenson. That was a duck. And then former unified lightweight champion George Kambosos, who is coming off of 2 stinging losses against Devin Haney, did not want any parts of Shakur Stevenson as well. So Shakur Stevenson ended up fighting Yoshino. Yoshino, I gave him a lot of credit for coming over from Japan across to the United States to fight Shakur Stevenson, one of the best fighters in the world today. But with that being said, this fight between Shakur Stevenson and Yoshino last night was a WBC mandatory, which means the winner of that fight was going to get a mandatory shot at the WBC championship. Of course, Devin Haney holds the WBC title along with the IBF championship, the WBA championship, and the WBO championship, for him being a undisputed lightweight champion. So therefore, Shakur Stevenson is technically the number 1 contender to face Devin Haney next. And I feel like he's next in line, not only for, it could be Devin Haney, or it could be the winner of the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight that we're going to see in May 20th. Whoever walks out as the undisputed champion in Las Vegas that night is going to have to see Shakur Stevenson very soon, maybe by the end of 2023, now that he's a mandatory to face the lightweight champion in this division. So it makes sense for me to see Shakur Stevenson either fight the winner of Devin Haney versus Lomachenko in a huge undisputed championship fight by the end of 2023. Or it makes a lot of sense for Shakur Stevenson to fight, if Devin Haney moves up, it makes a lot of sense for Shakur Stevenson to fight the winner of Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. 2 fighters that are saying that they will be the face of boxing after between whichever fighter is victorious between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. To me, it makes sense for Shakur Stevenson to fight either Devin Haney, Lomachenko, or the winner of Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia by the end of 2023. And I do believe that this will happen. I think out of all the likely scenarios, it's more likely that we'll see Shakur versus Devin Haney in an undisputed lightweight championship fight. That's been a fight brewing for years and years. Over the years, we've seen Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson rise in their respective careers. So I think that's the most likely fight that we'll get by the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get in the ring with Gervonta Davis by the end of the year. They've been talking a lot. But buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I said this year in the world of boxing will be a great year, and it's looking like the second half of 2023 is going to be as great as what it was in the first half of 2023 in the world of boxing. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode.